Hi, fifth grade, and welcome back to our math work. Today we're going to continue our work with exponents, and this time we're going to be adding conversions with it as well. Now I know it's been a while since we've done conversions, so I made sure to include the conversion chart, and any assignment you have today will also include the conversion chart, just to help you guys have that as a refresher. So let's get started right off the bat with this first example here. So this is going to be a review from yesterday's lesson, just to make sure that we really got this, okay? So I'm going to write in blue. So I'm taking 800 and I'm dividing it by 10 to the third power, okay? Now just like I showed you yesterday with the zero trick with exponents, which again is this little power up here, this number 3, is you can rewrite this number, one of two ways, okay? You could either do it as 10, go a little smaller actually. You could either do it as 10 times 10 times 10, because there's 3 10s there, or you could rewrite that as 1, right? Now 1, 2, 3 zeros, okay, or 1,000. So I'm going to be dividing 800 here by 10 to the third power. So what I'm going to first do is I'm going to write my number 8, like so. And I have to take away 1, 2, 3 zeros because I'm dividing. Well, here's the interesting thing. There's only 1, 2 zeros here, right? So watch this. Imagine the decimals here, and I'm dividing by 1,000. I'm moving it 3 spaces to the left. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so the decimal point is actually going to be right here. So 0.8 is your answer, or in this case, 8/10. Okay, let's look at the next one. So I'll do the same thing. 10 to the second power, as an example, is just 10 times 10, or you could say it's 1 with 2 zeros, or in this case, 100, right? I am also dividing this one. So I have 754.2, or 754 and 2/10 divided by 10 to the second power. So I'm going to write this number out. Like so. Keeping in mind my decimal point's really there, but I don't want to have to erase it. Okay, not yet. So I'm moving it 100, so 2 over 1, 2. So my decimal point's right there in between the 7 and the 5. Like so. So again, I just moved it like that. So my answer is 7 and 542 10,000ths, or 7.542. So under this same logic, we're going to be working on our conversion charts using this same method today. We have here our meter to centimeters. Remember, with metric, you just multiply 100, or everything's in base 10 or uses of 100, etc. So it's a really good conversion here, a really good relation here to what we're doing with exponents, because exponents are also base 10. Everything is being multiplied or divided by factors of 10, 10, 100, 1,000, 10,000, etc. So I have 1 meter equals 100 centimeters, 2 meters equals 200 centimeters, and all the way down to 10 here. That's because meter to centimeter, for every 1 meter you have 100 centimeters. So you could say that you're really just, let me make this smaller actually. You could just say that you're multiplying by 10 to the second power, because there's 2 zeros at the end of every one of these. Centimeters, however, now that I'm going from centimeters now to the smaller unit, which is millimeters, you only multiply that by 10. So 1 centimeter is equal to 10 millimeters. 2 centimeters equal to 20 millimeters, all the way across. So let's go from here. So my first example I already have filled in is 3 meters to centimeters. So 3 meters equals 300 centimeters. They filled that in for us. And then they go, zoom in just a little bit, and then they go 3 times 10 to the second power equals 300. Well, yeah, because we know 10 to the second power is really equal to 100, and you have to multiply by 100 to go from from meters to centimeters. So I'm essentially just filling in this power place value and writing this in as an equation, essentially how you solve this over here with exponents. So let's look a little closer at how we could do that. So 105 centimeters to meters. Okay, I'm going to review my chart. This time I'm going from centimeters to meters. So if I know that I need to go from meters to centimeters, I multiply. Going backwards means I'm also dividing, just like our place value chart we started with. Remember, multiplication and division are two sides of the same coin. So I'm going to, before I do anything here, I'm actually going to put it in here first. I know that I'm dividing. Okay, now what am I dividing? Well, I have to divide 105 by what? Well, if I look at my chart, I know I have to multiply by 100 to get from meters to centimeters. So to go the other way, I'm also going to have to divide by 100, right? So what is 100 as an exponent? Again, that's 10. There's 1, 2 zeros to the second power. So 105 divided by 10 to the second power equals, well, let's look here. If I have to move over 2 zeros, 1, 2, my answer will be 1.05. Again, because the decimal was here, I moved it over 2 place values to the left because I'm dividing. So 1.05 meters. Okay, let's look at some more examples. 1.68 meters to centimeters. So I'm starting with 1.68, and I have to turn this into centimeters. So let's look again at our chart. Meters to centimeters, multiply by 100, or 10 to the second power. Okay, so I'm going to multiply this by 10 to the second power. I'm going to rewrite my number over here. And now that I'm multiplying, remember, we're moving that decimal over to the right. And this time we're moving it 2 places. 1, 2. So I actually already have my decimal where I need to be, right here. 168 is my answer. So I have 168 meters. And in this case, with meters to centimeters, they're asking us to almost place this, well, not almost, they are asking us to place these numbers, now that they're like this, inside of here. So I know that I really have 1 meter here, and because centimeters are based out of hundredths, right, we have 68 of them. This part here is just converting the 1.68, but really we have 168 meters after we multiply it all the way out into centimeters. I'm sorry, this should say centimeters. Okay, let's look at this one. 80 centimeters to meters. Okay, same setup here. Let's start with our chart. 80 centimeters to meters. So I need to go from centimeters back to meters. So I know I'm going to be dividing. Okay, so I'm going to be dividing 80. Let's draw an arrow here. So 80 divided by, in this case, 10 to the second power, because we're moving at 100, and 10 to the second power is equivalent to 100, like we said here. And I'm going to rewrite this number I'm dividing it and moving over 2 place values. So 1, 2. So my decimal goes right there on the left of the 8. My unit is meters. So I'll write that here next to it. And my answer is 0.8 meters. Or in this case, you could say 0.80 meters if you wanted to keep that 0. They're the same thing. So with this one, they're really asking how many centimeters to meters, just 80 to 0.8. This showing your work part, though, is the most important, of course. Just keep in mind that you have your conversion chart. Remember that multiplication and division are 2 sides of the same coin. Keep in mind your exponents and how they convert, and then how you move the decimal points. Those are really all the key parts of this work. So just kind of refer back to this video if you need help with any one of those single parts, and watch out for those. It's just combining all of those different things you've been working on so far into one part here, with now adding the new piece of these conversions, which again, I'm going to be adding this conversion chart to any assignment you guys have today. Reach out to your teacher if you need any help, and keep up the good work.